public comment on the agenda. Good morning. I'm Berks County Commissioner Christian Leinbach, and I want to welcome you to our February 22nd, 2024 Commissioners Board meeting. We are broadcasting live via Microsoft Teams live event. We're also on BCTV as well as Facebook and YouTube Live. We'll begin with a moment of silence followed by a pledge to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I'll recognize my Executive Assistant, Anne Marie Grill, to read the public comment policy.
Thank you, Commissioner Leinbach. Public comment will be accepted in person and through the Q&A function. Please include your first name, last name, and municipality for all comments. Any comments without name and municipality will not be considered. Each citizen can submit one comment. Comment length is dictated by limitations of the platform being used, Teams Q&A, Facebook, and YouTube. In-person comments will be accepted first, followed by comments submitted virtually. The meeting comment period is limited to a total of 30 minutes, including both in-person and virtual comments. This time period may be extended at the discretion of the board. Please be concise. Comments that are germane to county business will be read during the meeting and should not be considered to be interactive dialogue with the commissioners. The county solicitor shall be the final arbiter of whether a comment is germane and should be read. Any commissioner response to public comment will be done at the discretion of the commissioners.
Thank you very much. Are there any additions or corrections for the February 15th meeting minutes? Hearing none, the minutes will stand approved as presented. We did have an executive session on February the 21st dealing with personnel and litigation. There's no public comment on the agenda online and nothing in person. An item that is not on the agenda, we were going to deal with it originally at the end in our comments, but we've moved it to the beginning. Back on January the 18th, my wife and I had the privilege to attend the Pennsylvania State Association of County Fairs annual conference and trade show. I have to note that we were there as guests of Beverly Gruber. Beverly is extremely involved in the Fair Association, but Farm Show and a lot of other efforts. And I was at Farm Show this year, and Beverly told me about a very special award that was going to take place and asked if I would like to attend along with my wife. And so my wife and I were able to be there. And what made that event unique and special, not just for me to be there, but special for Berks County, is that one of our own was recognized as the 2023 Fair Person of the Year, and that is Shirley Moyer. Shirley Moyer has been involved with the Ole Fair for many, many years, as well as a number of other community events. And there's a lot of things I could read about her. I actually have Beverly's entire presentation here, but I want to take a quote from, I believe, a Reading news article quoting you that she shared at the end. And I love what you had to say. Agriculture is all around us each day, even though we may not live on a farm. It is in the food we eat, the milk we drink, the clothing we wear, the landscaping around our homes, and many other places. This is why I feel that fairs are an important part of educating the public about how important agriculture is in our daily lives and the need to preserve the disappearing farmland across the nation. And so when I saw this, I said, this is something that we need to celebrate as Berks County Commissioners. This is a big win. There's 67 counties. They're not quite 67 county fairs. Not every county has a county fair, but this is a huge honor. And so we reached out to Shirley. She's here with us today, and I'd like to ask her to come forward and my colleagues to step up to the podium. Can you turn the mic on, Kevin? And we'll make this presentation. Yeah. Shirley, on behalf of the Berks County Commissioners, I want to present you with a certificate of recognition. While the certificate itself is a piece of paper, what you've done is a life that has made a difference in our community, especially when it comes to agriculture and fairs, and I know especially the Ole Fair. And so thank you very much. Congratulations. And my colleagues, come on in. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we'll take another picture here. Let me just, okay, go ahead, step right up. Shirley, if you want to say a few words, feel free.
Thank you very much for this presentation. It was really a special award that I received in January, like Commissioner Leinbach said. I was not aware that he was there until I was up on the podium, and he sort of surprised me that he was there. I didn't know how he found out about it, but then I found out that Bev was the one that told him about this. But I was glad to see that he could attend and see me get that prestigious award. I mean, we have like 108 fairs across the whole state of Pennsylvania. So I was competing with a lot of other individuals there from all those other fairs. So I was very honored that I was presented with this award. And as far as our fair, I've been involved, and it's just a love of the fair that I have. And, you know, it's not just me. I couldn't do my job if the rest of the people, everybody in our fair organization works together as a team to pull that event off. And it might only be a 3-day event, but we're working at that the whole entire year to put that 3-day event on. And if anybody has not been at our fair yet, it is always held the middle of September. It's a true country old-fashioned fair. I would encourage you to attend this year. I believe the dates are September 19th, 20th, and 21st. And it's only, like I said, it's only a 3-day fair, but it's very well attended, especially on a Friday night. If the weather is great. Now, this past year, we did have rain on Saturday, which that, sort of had an effect on the attendance for Saturday, but Thursdays and Fridays were just packed. So again, thank you very much for this presentation, and that's all I have to say.
Well, thank you, Shirley. Congratulations. It is not lost on me, and we have some great fairs, community fairs throughout Berks County, but consistently, I believe the best run and attended fair year after year over decades has been the Ole Fair. It's just very impressive to see what you do, and you have a unique system on the food. I've commented everywhere I go. I've never seen it. There's one side of it that is a pain in the neck, and that is you can't buy anything with money. You have to go buy your coupons, but it works. And it's been a key to not only financing the Ole Fair, but the way that you incorporate nonprofits, scouts, church groups to help manage the stands, and they also financially benefit for the work that they do. It's a pretty incredible event, and you should be proud for all of your involvement in that for many, many years. So thank you. Okay, continuing with our agenda. Item 1, authorizing under that budget department, adopt a resolution authorizing 2023 budget transfers in the amount of $41,853 and 2023 appropriations in the amount of $1. That might be a record minimal amount that I've seen in a long time. 2024 budget transfers in the amount of $10,285 and 2024 appropriations in the amount of $25,173 per listing dated February the 16th of 2024. There are 3 items listed under Human Resources. Item 1, authorize the appointment of Megan Lesher to Enterprise Manager, Information Systems. Item 2, authorize the appointment of Miki Onwedinjo, Law Clerk 1, Court Administration. Item 3, authorize the transfer of Tricia Stein from Judicial Administrative Assistant to Judicial Coordinator in Court Administration. Under Commissioners, we have several items. Adopt a resolution authorizing a letter of support for the Borough of Wyomissing's application to the Redevelopment Assistance Capital Program for the redevelopment of the Wyomissing Borough Hall Administration and Police Department facility in an amount up to $5 million. Item B, adopt a resolution authorizing Terrence Brennan, administrator at the Berksheim Nursing and Rehabilitation, to execute the 2024-2025 Pelican renewal quotation by its liability and MCARE assessment program presented by EHD through the Pelican Insurance Program administered by the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania. Item C, adopt a resolution authorizing the chair to execute the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services application for Certificate of Compliance and Civil Rights Compliance Form as part of the 2024 shelter renewal application for the Berks County Residential Shelter. Item D, adopt a resolution authorizing the director of the Berks County Department of Emergency Services to enter into servicing terminal and non-terminal agency agreements between the Commonwealth Law Enforcement Assistance Network and the County of Berks, granting clean user access to all necessary county departments, municipalities, and regional law enforcement agencies and any other authorized users. Further authorizing the Information Systems Senior Security Manager to execute all management control agreements between the Commonwealth Law Enforcement Assistant Network and the County of Berks on behalf of the County Department of Emergency Services and all authorized departments and agencies for the supervision of equipment programming and operational procedures. Item 2, a motion to authorize the execution of contract agreements and amendments as set forth on the contract agenda listing dated February the 16th of 2024. There are a total of 6 contracts. There's 1 with adult probation. There are 2 with the Area Agency on Aging. There's 1 with the Berksheim. There's 1 with the Department of Emergency Services. And there's 1 with mental health and developmental disabilities. Item 3, a motion to authorize execution of the payments and electronic transfers for the week ending February 22 of 2024. Item 4, a motion to authorize execution of employee payroll disbursements dated February 27th of 2024.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion is carried. We'll move now to reports of our treasurer and controller. We'll begin with our Berks County treasurer, Mitch Darcourt. Mitch?
Thank you, Commissioner. Today we have an opening balance of $195,302,696.38. We have a balance to clear of $5,553,777.11, leaving us with a balance of $189,748,919.27.
Thank you very much, Mitch. We'll move now to our Berks County Controller, Joe Rudero, with the Controller's Report. Joe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the week ending 2/22/2024, we have a total accounts payable of $6,122,540.31.
Thank you very much. And with that, we'll move to our Chief Operations Officer and Kevin Barnhart for your report.
Thank you, Commissioner Leinbach. Our team has nothing to offer this morning other than going down memory lane. Does anybody remember what happened on this date 44 years ago?
Miracle on Ice.
Got it.
Very impressive.
Miracle on Ice.
Yes.
U.S. hockey team beat the Russians, and we're still battling them today. No, that's all we have. Thank you.
Was Putin on the hockey team?
Probably. Yeah.
Wow. That makes me feel old
I know.
because I remember that like that was yesterday. That was a big deal because I believe 1980, we did not participate in the Olympics. That was they were Moscow. Yeah. Big deal. So with that, we'll move to Commissioner's reports. So we'll begin with Commissioner Michael Rivera.
Thank you, Commissioner Leinbach. I just have a few items here. First of all, this past Friday, we held the employee recognition breakfast here at the Services Center, and we celebrated almost 1,200 years of service here at the county. And like I told the group, they looked awfully young for having all those years of service here. But I do want to congratulate our employees who celebrated their 5, 10, 15, 20. I think we had, Jess, was it 40? So the most was celebrating 40 years of service here at the county. So congratulations to all the Berks County employees who celebrated with us on Friday. And thank you to all of you for your service here at the County of Berks. This Monday at 6:30 is my BCTV show. You can watch it live or you can watch it after the fact at bctv.org. And it will be with the Berks County detectives. So I'll be interviewing Chief Gumbar and 2 other detectives, as well as the Children's Alliance Center. If you want to learn more about the Children's Alliance Center, which is very impressive, you want to watch the show again this Monday at 6:30 on BCTV. And the last item is we have our election board meeting today at 11 a.m. and we will be transmitting live via Teams. That's all I have.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Santoni.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A few things. I want to talk about I always call it my tour, but I'm not just saying it because of that. I like to point out what we were doing, the places that I've had a chance to tour and visit with, because I want to highlight the great work that they do as well. So I think that's as much as important as me going out and learning is highlighting the great work that a lot of our agencies and departments do, starting with my good friend and pathonetary, Jonathan Docala, who gave me an opportunity, Lynn and I, to tour his facility and to learn about the pathonetary's office and all the great work that they do and the history involved with your office. I think, Jonathan, I don't know if you're the official historian, but maybe the unofficial Berks County historian, and you have a lot of knowledge on that, and I think it's very interesting. I know Larry's involved as well, knows a lot about the county, so I want to thank him for his hospitality. I also had an opportunity to sit with Lisa Siciliano of Family Court, and she gave me the rundown on all the things that they're involved with. It is comprehensive, and they do a terrific job with the PFAs and the domestic relations and all the child custody, et cetera. So I want to thank her for hosting us as well. Emergency services, we were out to visit Brian Gottschall, and I think many of us really take that area for granted and the great work that they do in providing safety of all of Berks County with the 911 service and everything that they do. So we had an opportunity to visit Brian and his team. Very interesting, great employee, great department head that knows his stuff and does a great job. And my last one that I want to mention is Jay Osterich over at the VA. Met with Jay and his team. We all understand the importance of the services that they provide to our veterans. I thought it was interesting. I mentioned like the constituency that he deals with. There's still some World War II veterans that they provide services to. Of course, Korea, and their biggest group, I think, is the Vietnam veterans as they get older now and are needed services to for the great service that they provided to all of us to keep our democracy safe. So I want to again highlight the great work that they all do, and we'll continue that tour of Berks County and the agencies and the places that we oversee. A couple other things. Commissioner Rivera mentioned it. The employee recognition was my first one of everyone on the 5, 10. I think the most was 40 years. Mr. Cetrick from Ag, and I want to commend all of our great employees. They really make this county tick and do all the great work that makes us all look good. This past Tuesday, I believe it was, I'm sure Commissioner Leinbach will probably report on this as well. We had our second town hall of 2024 out at the Boyertown Community Library. I thought it went really well. We had a great crowd. It was about 30 people in the audience. And the issues were all over the place. We didn't focus on any particular issue, but we talked about a lot of different issues. Immigration even came up, of course, property taxes, the airport, elections, and there was a wide array of constituents there. And I thought that they provided not just great questions, but great comments and great input. So I thought that was a wonderful town hall. Something that I went to with Commissioner Leinbach and with Anne Marie and Lynn was an event out in Bartow at the Sri Venkateswara, I don't know if I got that right, cultural center, but it was it's a cultural center with a Hindu religion. There was a religious service. I guess the priest was there to bless the building and it opened in 2021. It's out in Bartow, but it was consecrated yesterday, February 24th, 2024. So it was quite an experience. I thought it was really great. We got some gifts. I got a little shawl to take home along with some fruit, and they were very hospitable. I thought it was a great event, and I was really honored and privileged to be there. A couple more things real quick. I was involved in a community listening session last night, and I want to give a shout out to Spotlight PA. There's a media void in Berks County. I know that we still have the Reading Eagle and WEU and others, but there's a void out there for information for our community. Spotlight PA is doing a listening tour, if you will, in the Berks County area. They've had 14, 15 sessions. Last night I think there might be one more. But Heather Adams from BCTV is on sabbatical from there and is working on this project. They're putting together what interests people have, politicians, business people, young people. I mean, the age group that they've been talking to varies from 14 to 89, just what people need, what they want to know. And they're putting together this program, and they're going to talk to some of their media partners to see if they can put something together and decide whether we're going to have a bureau for Spotlight PA here in Berks County. I hope it works out. I think the process ends in June, so they'll be making a decision sometime at the end of the year, we hope. So I want to mention them. If you want to go to their website, www.spotlightpa.org, and offer, they're interested in more input, so you can go on there and offer what you think we need to know here in Berks County, what you want to know here in Berks County. So I advise many people to go out and do that. And my last issue I'm going to talk about is more on a personal note. It has to do with, and Jonathan Del Calo gave me some input on this as well. This county was founded in 1752, and in a few years we'll be celebrating the 275th anniversary of Berks County. So we've been around a long time. And I'm going to mention a name. And I know that Chairman Leinbach knows him, and Kevin Barnhart, Larry Medallia, and I'm sure many others know Tony Carabello. Mm-hmm. Tony was a U.S. Army war veteran during the Korean War. He was an educator in the Reading School District. He served one term in Reading City Council and 5 terms as a member of the Board of Commissioners here in Berks County. Tony passed away in 2015, and Tony was a good friend of mine. And the reason I'm mentioning Tony Carabello, I might even get a little emotional here, is because Tony, we stand on the shoulders of those that come before us, trailblazers, if you will. One day in the future, we hope someone will stand on the shoulders of our first Latino commissioner, Commissioner Rivera, and then maybe they'll stand up here and give him a shout out at that particular time. I stand on the shoulders of Tony Carabello. And I did some research on this, and I wasn't sure 100% until I talked to Mr. Del Carlo last week, and he said, yes, this is true. Tony Carabello was the first Italian-American to serve as a Berks County Commissioner. I'm the second. So I want to give Tony a shout out, a veteran of the Korean War, a 5-term member of Berks County Commissioner, and I stand on his shoulders as a member of this board, and I'm honored and privileged to be that. I give him all my thanks. Funny story about Tony, we were going up to Harrisburg one day. He came up to tape my TV show, and on the way back, he said, have you ever been to Wayhar Farms? And I hadn't. It's on 183 coming off the Strausstown exit. So I want to buy some ice cream. So I went in there and got ice cream, some of the best ice cream you're ever going to eat. So if you're up that way, stop. And I stopped there many, many times coming back from Harrisburg, and I always wondered why I couldn't lose any weight. That's probably why. So I'll blame Tony for that. So I want to thank Tony Carabello for paving the way for me to be sitting up at this table. So I want to thank him, and I appreciate the indulgence, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for sharing that historical perspective. Just a couple of items. I also want to recognize the town hall. Been doing these for a number of years. It was the best turnout we've had, roughly 30 people. It was fascinating. Mayor Lori Carnes was there, and she let me know at the very beginning that she had to leave a few minutes before 7 because they had their borough council meeting at 7 o'clock. Well, it's 7:15 and she's still there. And I finally said, don't you have a council meeting to go to? And she stayed almost through the whole thing. And when she finally left, she said, I just wanted to be part of this, hear what you had to say, hear what my community has to say. And it was a very good event. I want to thank Karen Resendez. She is our deputy director for our Berks County Library System. She was there representing the library. Denise, I forget her last name now, but Denise is the head of the Boyertown Community Library. She hosted us. We had her speak briefly in the beginning. Amanda Burkhardt-Sell, who is our ag program manager, was there, in large part because she lives in the Boyertown area, and she is head of the Friends of the Boyertown Community Library. So it was really good to have those folks there. Most of the people that were there, I didn't know. They're local folks that came out, and as you noted, you never know what you're going to get. When we were in Kutztown, I'd say, and Joe was there, 90% of the comments and questions had to do with warehouses. I don't think we got one question on warehouses this time, but it was a broad array of issues that people had questions about, and that's why we do these. I don't know what people that haven't attended these before may expect, but we purposely try to keep them simple, open up with comments from all three, and Commissioner Rivera would have been there. Don't think that he's made a decision to no longer attend town halls. He was where he needed to be. His mother was in the hospital and he was with his mother. Otherwise, he was scheduled to be there as well. So great event. Thanks Stephanie Williams. It was her idea to host these through the libraries. They're set up throughout the year. I believe we determined March is at the Reading Public Library. So we'll be in the Reading area for our March Town Hall. Just very briefly, this afternoon, I will be participating, and I don't know, are my colleagues in the reentry simulation?
Yes, we'll be.
Yep. So we'll be participating in a reentry simulation at West Lawn United Methodist Church, hosted by Connections Work. This is the former Berks Connection pretrial service group. Their new name is Connections Work. Very glad to be involved in this. Reentry is a big deal. Some people look at this and they, why are we wasting time and money in that? The reality is, when you talk about a county jail, statistically, everybody in the county jail is going to get out of the county jail. You don't go into the jail unless you're there waiting for trial. or you have a 2-year sentence or less. So statistically, everyone's coming out. If you look at the data, that's the fact. We improve the chances of them not going back when we provide programming that addresses a lot of the issues. It provides training in trades and those areas. And the data is very strong in Berks County, showing success in dramatically lowering the recidivism rate in this county. I'm going to say Connections work has been a big part of that effort, along with the district attorney and some other groups, but Connections work has been fantastic. So we're looking forward to participating. I'm sure we'll have some things to share as a result of that experience. That is all that I have. Any comments from our row officers?
I have a couple, Commissioner. The 2024 tax bills are going out next Thursday to be in your mailbox by March 1st. So look forward to those coming out. And we're going to be sending out.
Are you serious?
150.
Are you serious? Look forward. You've been warned. How about that?
Okay, so please pay them. We're sending out about 159,000 of those.
Wow.
And they've been printed in our basement here, right? Like by the gentleman down there doing the hard work.
Yep.
So be warned, as Commissioner Leinbach said.
And we're all getting them. If you own property, you're getting them.
That's all I have today.
Well, thank you, Mitch. Joe,
Thank
you have
Commissioner.
something
Yep, just
more
wanted
uplifting?
to, final be. Well, we're meeting with the tax collectors. I just wanted to share that our audit team is out and about in the county. Instead of going to each and every tax office, we're doing it in groupings. So I want to thank any of those municipalities that have opened up their municipal buildings to allow our auditors to come in. And we're scheduled meeting with the tax collectors. So we're doing about 6 locations around the county. And I guess we're about halfway through. So just wanted to report that, the controller's office and our audit team is out and about, and we're working with the tax collectors. Thank you.
Very good. Continuing down the line, JD.
Last but not least, thank you, Commissioner, for giving me a couple minutes. First, I just wanted to thank Commissioner Santoni and his executive assistant coming down to the office last week. We had a great time. They survived the 1-hour tour, which a lot of people don't. But we had good conversations, got to show them a lot of what we do, and really, really happy they were able to come down to the office. Second thing I'd like to mention is a lot of people know about our mobile app. The Prothonotary Office has a mobile app. We launched it in 2019. We were the first clerk of court office in Pennsylvania to have a mobile app, and it's unconfirmed, but we think we might be the first in the nation clerk of court to have a mobile app. It's full of features, access to our e-filing, our docket system. The part we're most proud about is our PFA section, which really helps and focuses on victims of domestic violence, gives them immediate resources, information about how to obtain a protective order, gives them access to Safe Berks and other things. Well, our app just got redesigned. It's completely redesigned, and I invite everybody to take a look at it. There's some added features now. We've launched a YouTube channel where yours truly will do some videos. I just did a video, and Commissioner Santoni and I were talking about naturalization records and the Italian immigrants that came here. There's a video on there now about our naturalization records, which have all been completely digitized. And we get requests almost every week. The Italian dual citizenship craze is alive and well in Berks County and beyond. Italians of Berks County, Italians of descent are big into this dual citizenship. I have it. I hold dual citizenship. Commissioner Santoni kind of inquired. We're going to be working on one of our judges just obtained his dual citizenship. So it's a big craze. We get a lot of requests from around the world for this. but that's just a little part of our app. So I invite everyone to come and please take a look at our app, check it out. It has a lot of good features. And we're really, really proud of it. It's available on Apple and Android. So whatever your phone is, you won't be left out. Joe, I hope you are downloading it as we speak.
So JD, I have it up on the screen.
Oh, excellent.
If
Yeah,
you
we have a
go
QR
to-
code on the website.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Go to the Prothonotari's page at berkspa.gov. Under government, click on Prothonotary, and right at the bottom of the page, you can use your phone to scan the QR code, or you can click here and that will take you into the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store.
Yeah, and a real quick shout out to Carl from IS who has helped me with the website. I am not very techie when it comes to building and doing websites, and Carl has spent a lot of time in my office helping me, and I really appreciate his efforts.
And
Last
Carl
thing
runs the show here.
What's that?
Carl's
Yeah,
running
I
the
just
show
saw when
here.
I came in. He's a good guy, a very good asset for the county of Berks. The last thing I'd just like to mention is I gave an update a few years back, but one of the things I wanted to start doing when I got in, and we've been doing it pretty much under the radar for the last 5-6 years, is digitization of our historical records. Our records go back to 1752. Commissioner Santoni and Lynn saw some of the older ledgers that we had that date to 1752, but a lot of the paper records that we have stored with archives now, they're really in bad shape, and we wanted to get them digitized as quickly as possible. We use for this an automation fee that was granted to us by the legislature back in 1998. Past Berks County Rep Sheila Miller actually introduced the legislation with the help of my predecessor, Mary Ann Sutton, who was prothonotary. Commissioner Santoni, when he was in the legislature, supported it. I think the entire Berks County delegation did. It's a user fee that we charge on filings that come in our office. The important thing is it's not taxpayer money. So we're able to restore all these records and digitize them, but not using taxpayer money. And it's really, really good. The biggest cost actually is repairing the record just so it can be digitized. There's so much time spent, archival tape has to be purchased and other materials to actually preserve the paper just so it can be digitized. But then once we get that snip and we have the image, then we can put the document away. I mean, some of these boxes, they were literally almost like pulp. It was unbelievable how bad shape a lot of them were in. But we just went over 900,000 pages that we've digitized since 2017. Really proud of that. Most of them were, like I said, from 1752 to 1900. And that's about 95% of the records we have in that time period. They're all preserved forever. And we're really, that makes me sleep a lot better at night, knowing that the records are preserved, even though they're in bad shape physically, but the images are there forever. That's all I have. I just thought I'd come up. We need a little more Italian representation here in the boardroom. You know, Mr. Medaglia, all sides are covered today. So just thought that would be, and real quick about Tony Carabello, he really did lay the foundation for Italians getting elected on countywide level and statewide level in Berks County. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he got elected, and then my good friend, Mr. Medaglia, first Italian row officer in Berks County's history, elected. You know,
No worries. I would just add too, Judge Stallone was, I believe, our first Italian judge.
Yeah.
And he was extremely proud of that and was very involved with the Columbus 500 anniversary celebration and parade. In fact, I had just kind of come on with the county at that point and was swept right into that and said, okay, here's another one we're going to put in.
Absolutely.
And we drafted some wannabe Italians.
We send him our best wishes. I know he's got some health challenges and a stellar member of the court, no doubt about it. Thanks, commissioners. Really appreciate the indulgence.
Very good. Sounds like today has been a worthwhile history lesson on several fronts. So, you know what they say about history, if you don't know your history, you're deemed to repeat it, and it's normally the bad stuff that we repeat. because we haven't taken the time to look back. So thank you very much. With that, there is no public comment online, no public comment in person. That brings us to the end of the agenda.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
The meeting stands adjourned.